Hey everybody, I'm Grandmaster Ben Feingold. This is 5 Minutes with Ben, and I'm Ben. Today we're going to look at a game played in the World Blitz Championship in the final match between Magnus and Jan. Still not sure who won that match. Anyway, Magnus won the first two games, and Jan won the next two games. This was one of the games that Jan won. Jan had the black pieces, and they played a complicated French defense where they opposite side castled, and both sides tried to get attacks on their opponent's king. And the game ended sort of abruptly. So let's have sort of like the match did. Okay, so let's have a look at what happened. Jan has the black pieces, and he took the knight on f6, which is a reasonable move. White took back, which is a very good move. Jan's queen is attacked, so Jan played queen c7. Okay, in this position, the engine says it's equal, but this isn't the kind of equal that's usually going to end in a draw. This is the kind of equal where, the better player is going to win, or whoever plays better the rest of the game. And the rest of the game didn't go on very long because it's a blitz game. So we saw a tactical miscalculation here from one of the players. Okay, so in this position, the engine says bishop f4 is a reasonable move. I think another move or two are reasonable. But Magnus played a move the engine doesn't like. Seems like a pretty obvious move. Queen a7, getting some attack going on against the black king. Jan ignored that and played rook hg8, getting his own attack on Magnus's king. And now Magnus made the losing move. If Magnus had, followed my teachings his whole life, which luckily he hasn't, he would have known to always play bishop f1. And after bishop f1, the engine says black has a slight advantage. Because the engine didn't really like queen a7. So white's not losing, but after bishop f1, white's sort of on the defensive. But it defends the king side. But Magnus sacrificed all of his pieces for mate. Unfortunately, it was the wrong person who got mated. Well, from his point of view. And he played bishop f4, trying to get the queen away from the b7 square, which Jan was happy to do. Jan played queen takes f4, and Magnus played the purpose of bishop f4, which was rook takes b7. Now, Magnus is threatening queen a8, which leads to mate, and rook b8 check, which leads to mate. Both moves lead to mate. And he thought black didn't have a good defense to that, and he would win the title. Okay, so in this position, and you can't take the rook because queen takes b7 is mate. So looks like white has big threats, and black can't stop them. Unfortunately for white, black has big threats too. And Jan played the winning move, rook takes g2 check. Okay, white has three legal moves, king h1, king f1, and king takes rook. King h1 hangs mate in 1, so that's not a good move. King f1 goes into a lost endgame where I check, we trade queens with check, everything's check. Then I take your rook, and black is up a piece and 2 pawns. So obviously winning for black. Okay, so Magnus played the third move, king takes g2. In this position, I think the engine says d4 check is a draw. But anyway, in this position, the engine says that the computer says Jan thought for 20 seconds and played the winning move, which I guess was overlooked by Magnus. And that move is, well, you can pause your video and try to find it. Most people have already seen the game because this match was such a famous match. But some people haven't seen it. So if you haven't seen it, what should black do in this position? Pause the video and try to figure it out. Okay, we're back. And hopefully you figured out that Jan can play knight e3 check. Then Magnus resigned, actually. So let's look at all the legal moves that he has. Look at king moves first. King h1, queen f3 check, and queen g2 mate. So that's not good. King g1 is the same. Queen g4 check and queen g2 mate. Okay, and king h3 is the same. Queen g4 check and queen g2 mate. So king moves all lose. So there's two other moves. There's taking with the pawn, taking with the queen. If we take with the pawn, play rook g8 check, and then if the king goes to h3, this is mate. And if the king goes to h1, we check and then mate. Black has lots of mates, but these are the mates in one. Okay, and then white can give their bishop away for no reason, and then stave off mate, another move. But obviously, white's getting mated. Okay, so the last move for Magnus to look at is queen takes knight, and once again we end up in a lost endgame. Black can take the queen on e3, and then after takes, bishop takes rook is winning, and also if white throws in rook b8 check, king c8 is still a winning endgame for black. Although I think there's a better way to play. I thought there was after queen takes e3. Give me a second here. I thought there was a better move. Oh yeah, there's d4 check. I don't know why I forgot about d4 check. Also, I forgot about Dre, and that checks the king and attacks the queen on e3. That's what Jan would have done if Magnus had taken with the queen. And white doesn't have a mating attack anymore because black is defending against b8 and there's no queen a8. So this check attacking the queen wins the white queen, and black is winning. So after knight e3 check, in this position, Magnus resigned. The match was tied. The match was tied later. The match ended tied, which doesn't make any sense. I'm Grandmaster Ben Feingold. Thanks for watching 5 Minutes with Ben. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.